Hello, my name is Lukan. Welcome to the first episode of Penumbra Overture. Now I did try to play this game a while ago. However, at the time I did not have a video capture card, and as a result, the recording was laggy to the point that it was largely unwatchable once I got the actual gameplay. I didn't play more than maybe half an hour to an hour into it, so still have a largely fresh expectation going into this. I also have added the caveat that was not there last time of having this, which is, I believe I'm pronouncing this correctly, Dansk Mjød, which is a kind of mead. Now, this specific mead is 19% alcohol per volume, so averages out to a little less than 10 proof. Mead is a honey wine, so it is alcohol. I'm about 2 glasses in myself, working on a third now. And let me tell you, the shit sneaks up on you. But we're going to try going into this buzzed. Because, you know, I know this is the same group that played, well, that made Amnesia, The Dark Descent, and later on A Machine for Pigs, but we don't talk about A Machine for Pigs. I loved A Dark Descent. I still go back and play it from time to time, just the vanilla storyline, and it still holds up. So, I'm interested to see how this is going to work. Now, I know this game predates The Dark Descent. We're just going to go in easy, because I plan on doing this drunk. My story began in February, year 2000.
For my part in this allegory, I'm not going to make the same mistakes my father made. Howard vanished from my mother's life before I was even in it, so when he sent me a letter a few days after Mum's funeral, it was the first I'd ever heard from him. Pity he was dead. Writing from beyond the grave must be a genetic habit in my bloodline. His letter contained a key, instructions, pleas for forgiveness. I figured the dead don't have much use for absolution, so I turned to his prophetic passing, which he inexplicably expected to come any day. Clearly averse to explanations, my father preferred to leave directions to a bank on Mayfair I'd never even heard of. In that bank was a safety deposit box in his name, and myself as executor. Of course, I went, as he knew I would. I discovered that despite the evidence, he'd been legally declared dead almost 30 years ago, and so the old book and collection of notes I found had, in the eyes of the law, been mine all this time. My father's instructions were to burn the documents, raise no further questions. But that was his error. No man's immune to the shameful trappings of curiosity, and my humanity got the better of me. The university I taught at was world renowned for 2 things: physics and linguistics. I represented the first, and the man who stood for the second was stumped by my recent acquisition. The book was indecipherable. The notes, however, showed a location somewhere in uninhabited northern Greenland. It took me almost a year to book the last flight I'd ever take. As I watched civilization disappear along with Heathrow, I realised my father had disappeared 3 decades ago, almost to the day, and I considered in turn what it was that I was leaving behind. We landed on a strip of ice a few feet wide, and within minutes I was pulling away on a chartered boat, beginning the 12-hour journey that would lead me into my past.
I am curious. What did he mean by it must be a genetic habit to finally almost better stow the gear. Maybe far from home. Chances are, you can still pick things up easily. But I am curious as to what he meant. He said that even letters to that effect must be itching at Wait. Is that fucking Jack Daniels? Oh, I really wish I could zoom in on that. Shake something. It's obviously supposed to be Jack Daniels. Certain maps a good decade or so out of date. But landmarks don't change much at all. They've got a pretty decent idea. Ooh, Lord, we're gonna have to change the mouse sensitivity on this one. Game, maybe? No, not in there. Controls, what the fuck? Let's see if that works. No, we're gonna have to turn it up a bit. So we'll go up to 2. We'll see how that works. Okay, yeah, that's better. So rickety wooden desk. Get that drawer open, but just with the internet I can drag and flashlight switches on and off via the inventory tab, or hopefully with the shortcut key. Always travel with a padlock and a key. Oh, this has good thing I have my torch in hand. Some extra batteries to power my flashlight. Could come in handy if the torch runs out of batteries. I should be able to access it to the inventory or with the shortcut. Alright, so it looks like it's largely the same controls, the same feature, which I guess would make sense. Dearest Eric, just a quick note before we set sail and leave this again. I've left you a little something to remember you by in the chest at the foot of your bed. I really don't know why you still only have one bed on board taking ships. Because of it is no way to get yours. Wait. Oh, taking the shifts because of it is no way to get yours. But what does a fisherman's wife know of life at sea? I'll be praying every night for you. Make conscience so near, so that you can come home to be safe. And soon. Please don't be gone for 5 weeks like last time. I know I might nag sometimes, but I do love you. I've washed those overalls of yours. I know you'll get them covered with silly fish parts in no time, but I still feel better knowing they've had a wash. Before I forget, the Henriksons in the village have asked me if you'll be coming by any travel, but said they were mostly out of season. If you do happen upon it, don't say anything. Slow them while they comes. They'll do something special to celebrate the ship's captain deserves a little special treatment once in a while. Take care now. Just listening to this again as really quite on point. Also, it's a really nice effect that the duffel bag keeps going back and forth. I did spend my childhood fishing on the Great Lakes, specifically Lake Erie, for those of you in the United States who know what we're talking about. My grandpa and my brother used to fish out on that lake. So I'm quite familiar with how a boat interacts on the waves. This duffel bag. This is a nice little it's a nice little caveat that they didn't need to include. It needs out on the deck. Pretty odorous. But I'm getting out of here soon. I must eat and sleep and do everything else in this one room for weeks at a time. I have completely forgotten what it is I'm supposed to do here. Good scientist always keeps a pen and brain in check. Always good to have a notebook and to jot down. That should be everything I need to get going. As I stepped off the boat, setting out to the desert, I realized how utterly devoted I had been to the discovery of my father's past. I had no idea what to expect. Soon enough, my concerns were justified. I don't know whether I lost my orientation or spirit first, but I lost a feeling in my extremities soon afterwards, and rewind for me was setting in. I started looking for shelter. I didn't play. What the hell is that? I don't care. I need shelter. This freaking shut. But I have played through to the first. However, I did scrap that recording. Partially because it was on the laptop that I was using. I'm not going to bother trying to read that in time because I know it's what it is. I did read it. I did play it for the first and second time. These interactive modes. That's, I don't know why they got rid of that in Amnesia. I hope they got it some first. But, I did play 2A first. See, so I do have a general start. Yes, please go on. Yeah, I don't like that whispering. Like, that's one... Jesus, my head. I can't believe if I fell that far and survived. Although, looking around, maybe I didn't. What is this place? No, you definitely didn't. You definitely didn't fall that far. Questioning. So that grate must be made of something iron. A heavy-looking wooden barrel. Could be anything inside it that I can't lift. Empty boxes of ammunition. What is this place? Well, I mean, obviously, judging by up there, it is a bunker of some kind. I should have known that rusty old ladder wouldn't hold my weight, but I didn't have any choices. I'd rather die down here than suffer that cold any longer. See, knowing how frictional operates, you say that now. Steel rod. You say that now. Is that a flare? Yeah, that's a flare. Huh, how about that? Could be anything inside it. It's a wooden door. I hope it's open. It's stuck. There must be something in the way. Please give me the flare. It's a 24-hour ration pack. Long past its sell-by date. Let's see. I can swing this hammer if I hold left mouse. I can make a swing, a backswing by pulling the mouse right, and then follow through by pushing left. The opposite works too. Pulling back and then thrusting forward produces a stabbing motion. I reckon if I hold down right mouse after the backswing, I should be able to look around. Now, I don't remember much about this game, granted, but I am willing to bet that had, just because this is frictional, that has absolutely no bearing on any sort of offensive. Metal shell. That is a tiny fucking hammer. This hole's been boarded up a long time ago. The wood looks pretty soft. Control? Yeah. Control is the classic crouch button. Okay. Oh, wait, no, why is that? Wait. Wait a... Excuse me? That is seriously solid. Won't open my hand. Someone obviously wanted to keep people out. Or in. Probably both. Looks like some kind of industrial mechanism, although there's a hole in the center. No way to operate. Oh, come on. Can I not get back out that way? Wait a second. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. I know where I am. Okay. So that's where that leads. So that's a giant circle. Wait. Isn't this right? Well, that is the most non-Euclidean bullshit I have seen in a while. So there is definitely something I'm missing here. Let's try going up. Wait. Okay, geometrically, this doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. These are on the same level. Unless it's purely because of the elevation difference. Okay, well there's another flare. Fucking good that's gonna do. What in the fresh fuck? Oh, what the... I completely forgot about that. Oh, that is actually fucking infuriating. Whatever it was I descended into, whatever it was I was descending into, it was 100 feet below ground, protected by 2 solid metal hatches, located in a remote Arctic wilderness and buried beneath the snow. Okay, first off, comma use. Second off, by all accounts, by anything I have to go off of at this point, dude's British. Why the fuck is he using the feet? He should be using metric, not imperial. Might be a localization thing, but I don't know. Given his nationality, supposed nationality, I should say, he should be measuring that in metric. So, about 333 meters? No, 33 meters below ground. You know what? Let me check that. Okay, Google. Okay, Google. How many meters is 100 feet?
100 feet is equal to 30.48 meters.
Okay, so yeah, I was about right. About a third of the measurement. So, yeah, about 30 meters. Rounding down because it's not 30.5, so yeah, that'd be 30 meters. Not 100 feet. I mean, it's not really important. It's kind of a continuity thing. And that's the last of the mead, folks. Not because there's none left in the bottle, but because I'm already pretty drunk. I didn't know what to expect, but it made me feel something I hadn't felt since I was a child. I'd never given it much thought before, but I realized that our entire society is a network of safety nets. Emergency services at the end of a phone line, health and safety in the workplace, friends, family, others, all there if something goes wrong. Part of a carefully designed structure to prevent all but the most mundane of emotions. Once again, I felt like I did when I was in school, surrounded by a closing ring of older kids, knowing anyone that might help me, friends, parents, teachers, were too scared or too far away. I jotted down a note just in case. Let's check them notes. I haven't checked the notes at any point yet. There could be anything living down here. Heroics are for Hollywood actors and fairy tales. I'm not taking any chances. If I face off against anything down here, I won't last a second. Caution and stealth are my only defenses now. If anyone or anything hears me, I'd be best off staying low and out of sight until I know whether it's a threat. Crouching and pressing left control will give me the chance to hide in the shadows. I'll know if I've got it right because of the blue tint to my vision. Plus, I should be quiet enough that I won't be heard unless something's right on top of me. Better remember to shut off any light sources, though. Okay. So, like, right here. My best bet is to hide for a couple of seconds or so until perfectly still. That'll make me properly hidden. like that, I'll be virtually invisible, and after some time I should get my night vision back, provided I stay still. Shop and office. We're gonna keep the, since I don't really need office. Since I don't really need the flashlight with the light on, we're gonna keep it on. Mostly because my vision ain't so good. Had cataract surgery a while ago, and because of that and low vision, I need reading glasses to see. Backstrin? I don't remember that from my last playthrough. What the fuck is backstrin used for? I'm guessing that's kind of like the lamp oil for this game. Speak of the devil, I'm gonna need my reading glasses to read this one. Let's just get these on here. 15th of August, 1945. Command bunker. Emergency airstrip Zulu. Which is American military phonetic alphabet for Z. I don't know about for outside militaries outside the U.S., but for the U.S. military at least, that is phonetic alphabet for Z. Weekly report. Another unremarkable week in Greenland. Regular supply shipment received. Standard emergency drills carried out. Routine runway maintenance completed. In parentheses, I have ordered maintenance be carried out twice weekly from here on in due to increased snowfall. 1 wounded. The 1 wounded figure is no excuse for concern back in London. The Germans haven't extended their front line by 4,000 miles. 2 of the men were caught manufacturing cherry bombs in our workshop/armory, and succeeded in blowing off a couple of fingers. I take partial responsibility for this, in that I allowed them access to the demolitions manual we keep in the storeroom, and I'm sure that's where they learned the ingredients. As a precautionary measure, I have now locked up that manual in the chest in my office, and will keep the key on my person at all times. Needless to say, both men have been disciplined, and the injured man has been sent home for medical care. Now, to be fair, I would wager that getting fingers blown off would be enough of a discipline. I'm more than willing to bet my entire next paycheck that if he got fingers blown off by a cherry bomb, he's not going to fuck around with demolitions anymore. But that's just me. Military discipline and all that. This base is so disconnected sometimes, I feel as if this war could end and we might not even hear about it out here. Supplies requisition order. Dynamite for excavation purposes. 7 bayonets. Not necessary in my opinion, but procedure states we should have a full complement. 1 industrial ice pick for removing the damn ice that forms on the external hatch. 1 pair of reading glasses, category 7C. In order for myself, my glasses are in a rather poor state of repair and could do with replacing. Reconditioning of the mine continues to progress. The structure is being fortified from potential bomb damage, and excavation of previously caved-in areas is going ahead. 1 point of curiosity is some kind of archaeological find, an artifact buried in the earth and discovered by one of the work teams. Later this evening, after martial duty, I shall take a closer look at the artifact. It appears to be man-made and may have working parts inside. I shall remove what looks like the front cover and see if I can't discover the source of the light which constantly emanates from it. Chief NCO M. Major. clutching something unseen. He is strange, and yet he is no stranger. Never seen before, still I know. This man before me is Howard. I call him Father. What the hell? What just happened? I don't know if that was such a good idea. It's an old artifact. Yeah, that, I may never get used to that. It's a picture of a British platoon. It must date back to World War II. I suppose this mine was converted into some kind of bunker. See, this is definitely a nice change of pace from Amnesia. Because Amnesia had the, what's the word I'm looking for? Not necessarily medieval, but beef jerky. What the fuck is beef jerky used for? But, definitely had a more simple concept to its thematics, I guess. Okay, that band of graphics is that's gonna bother me. I don't know if you guys can see that, because by the time I was looking at your recording screen in OBS, that had already stopped. But, yeah, I do like the more modern day feel to the lore of this, because Amnesia was very late 1800s. Wooden box. And much as I hate to say it, this place must be old if they were still using paraffin, however you pronounce it. Looks like there's still some juice left. Yes, there may be, but I do not have same juice. So where in the hell am I? Oh, okay, I'm right there. So there's the office. Storage is off this way. Notice how this looks still. It should serve as some sort of weapon if I have to defend myself. Anyway. Oh yeah. Time period. I do have to say, I do prefer a more modern time period as opposed to Amnesia's whole 1800s theme. Mostly because I guess that's what I'm more familiar with. So it's more easy for me to identify with instead of suspension of disbelief and buying into concepts that I'm not necessarily familiar with. If this lighter wasn't empty yet, it'd be a handy thing to have. The work of either a child or a deranged mind. It's a crude representation of a scorched, writhing spider. the other side. That does mean there's someone still inside? I can hear chattering. Thank God. Jotted down a note just in case. No, you didn't, you fucking liar! That's in the to-do list, not the fucking notes. Okay, yeah, this is the point at which I had gotten. I distinctly remember this box. Yep. Okay, so I had completely skipped the office on my first playthrough. This is the point at which I had stopped before. Okay. Yeah. Locked. Maybe the rock. Trapdoor must lead deeper into the rock, to some kind of basement. I didn't even think about trying to just open it. Jesus Christ. It looks as if this basement's caved in some years ago. Something's tunneled through here more recently, though. Christ, what sort of creature makes these markings? Christ, was that a spider? I don't like spiders. Actually, fun fact, I do like spiders. In fact, I have one. It's a pink-toed tarantula. Perhaps I'll show it to you. Spiders in small places. I don't know if I can go through with this. I think I can hear the pitter-patter of tiny feet. That's funny, because the last time my dad heard anything relating to the pitter-patter of tiny feet, it was an fortune cookie, and I was born 7 to 9 months later. Horrible sight. Luckily it's mummified, or else the smell would have been awful. No! Likely at this point, the smell would have been completely eradicated. Because let's face it, at this point, there would have been nothing left. So we're gonna put you here, because I don't know what. That steam could blister flesh from bone in an instant. I know. I've seen it happen. Day 71. My earlier assumptions on the benign nature of my cellmates may have been made in error. After a careful autopsy, I am concerned that there may be a small volume of natural chemicals stored in the stomach, which, if ingested regularly over a period of time, may become psychotropic, or even lethal. My only real chance is to break out of here and raid any stashes of supplies I can find. However, the evidence against such a move is insurmountable. 1, I have no source of light. 2, I swore to myself I wouldn't leave until I heard human voices outside. 3, the spiders are so tasty. day 100. I guess that's about 30 days between. From the marks I have been making on the walls and my scribbled diary entries, which in the dark may amount to an illegible scrawl, today is the 100th day of my new life. Over the past month, my edible friends have become more and more aggressive and have swelled in number and size. Whether or not this is a result of my plundering their ecosystem, I am unsure. However, at this rate of growth, there will soon be too large to crawl through the gaps in the walls. For all I know, this could be seeing the tip of the iceberg. If all fails, and I am never recovered, I hope at least that my study of, and indeed involvement with, these fascinating creatures will one day be regarded as an important point in natural history. The greatest names in modern science got there through fluke, more through fluke than talent. And it appears that this rule has extended itself to my discovery of this delicious new species. I only pray that the second rule deems my breakthrough too insignificant. For all great discoveries tend to consume their inventor. Well, if it weren't for the size of the pieces, I would say that it looks like eggshells. Yes, well, what in the fuck? But anyway, given the fact that note was even there, I'd say that y'all got eaten. But Day 1. I begin this record still in the hope that the great work we have undertaken here might one day be of scientific value, despite the chaos which has ensued in the 6 hours previous. My aim is to remain secure until what help their baby arrives, and to that end I have barricaded myself into a small workshop area in the abandoned part of the mine. I hope that the meager food rations here will keep me alive, and that those I hide from will not jeopardize that. Perhaps this mine really is cursed. It is almost precisely 30 years since the incident that brought us here, and now, 30 years on, fate struck again. Day 3. I forecasted that today the rescue crews would arrive, but I can only hypothesize that they would be unaware of my location, and hence busy themselves evacuating the other survivors. If they have not arrived by tomorrow, I will go out in search of them. Day 6. My first mistake was to make assumptions on the matter of rescue. My second mistake was to make assumptions on the safety of this mine. My third mistake was to act on both these assumptions in going outside of my safe haven. My best estimate is that I left the workshop where I was secured about 2 days ago in search of aid, and I have found only danger. I approached the old living quarters, but curiously could find no sign of life whatsoever. I returned in what I thought was the direction from which I had come, but soon found myself in an unfamiliar locale. Confused but focused, I attempted to make my way home, but found myself threatened by some species of feral creature, which seems to have made this old mine its home. Although the specimen bore significant interest to me, I chose to retreat, only to find myself outmaneuvered and outnumbered by the beasts. I turned and ran, injuring my ankle in the process, which which I believe now is most likely a sprain rather than a fracture. For some time I cowered and fled into the dark, but a few hours ago I discovered a door leading to a smaller, disused part of the mine, the key for which I still have in my pocket. Within that area I discovered the storeroom, and I think it should keep me safe for some time. This place is a maze. My lesson learned. I will not venture out again until I am certain this area is safe. Day 19. Rescue seems increasingly unrealistic. Supplies diminishing. Lots of spiders in this place. I do not like spiders. Day 34. I caught one of the accursed, 8-legged beasts nestling in my open mouth when I woke up this morning. Am I surprised I swallowed it? It's not so much the act of swallowing which concerned me, but the genus of arachnid. It would be unlikely that a cave-dwelling spider would be venomous to any significant degree, but the possibility troubles me all the same. Day 35. Any known venom would have affected me by now, and so today is the first minor cause for celebration I have had since the incident. By lucky coincidence, this revelation also means I have discovered a virtually inexhaustible supply of nutrition. I intend to venture into the basement beneath this storeroom in the name of science to discover more about these creatures' natural habitat. Day 50. For 4 hours now, I have been surviving solely off the quite considerable sustenance provided by the spiders. For some time I was struggling to gather enough for the crunchy little morsels. However, Lady Luck smiled on me once more, when the batteries of my torch died and I made a second life-saving finding. The creature's natural habitat is the dark. With my light now diminished, I need only lie still for a few minutes, and I will have attracted enough of the beasts. A rather hardy kill. I just hold bags. That's the way to the steam. That's the ladder. Can I come back up here? Oh. I get what I'm supposed to do now. You have to come back this way. And you're gonna get hooked up. There we go. Okay. So now it's time to find. Okay. There we are. Alright, and with that save point, I regret to inform. Wait, it was different. But the same that time. Like, I had more control. But over what? What indeed? Perhaps we will find out on the next episode of Drunk Penumbra. Perhaps at some point I will think of a clever name or pun for this series title, but for now, the name speaks for itself. Penumbra while drunk. Thank y'all for watching. My name is Lukan. Once again, more than happy that y'all have tuned in. I hope you tune in for the next episode, and I really do intend to continue this series. I know I have a bad track record with continuing series once I start them. I still have, at least Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 1. I think I uploaded the one video for Resident Evil 2. Point being, I have a lot of series that I need to catch up on that I have been telling you. I will continue. Unfortunately for me, I suffer from a crippling lack of something called motivation. But rest assured, I will definitely continue on. With this series at least. In the meantime, I hope you have a good one.